Welcome everyone to our information session about Discover Your Edge Nepal edition. And today what we're going to do is introduce you to the three people who are involved in bringing this trip to you, and also a little bit about what is actually happening on the trip and the dates and all of the details. So I've just got a few slides. So I am going to share screen. And as I said, welcome to Discover Your Edge Nepal edition. Now, did you know that the word travel originates from the old French word travail, which actually means work, which is a bit ironic, isn't it? Because we often think of travel as an escape from work, but the derivation of the word suggests otherwise. Now, before we dive into the details of introducing you to the team and the trip itself, I just wanted to share a little story with you. So back in 1924, a British explorer named George Mallory was actually asked why he wanted to climb Mount Everest. Now, his answer was simple yet profound: because it's there. Now, Mallory and his team embarked on an expedition, I'll try and get my words correct today, that was full of danger and uncertainty, because remember, this is back in 1924, no satellite phones, no GPS, no nothing. And they were venturing into the unknown, pushing their physical and mental limits. Now, sadly, Mallory did not survive the journey, but his spirit of adventure continues to inspire us. And for me, Mallory's story is a reminder that travel, especially adventure travel, is not always about relaxation or escape. It's about challenging ourselves, stepping outside of our comfort zones. It's about facing our fears and overcoming obstacles. And through these experiences, we change, we grow, we build confidence. So in today's event, let's explore how this trip to Nepal could be your perfect recipe for personal transformation. Let's delve a little bit into the idea of discomfort, challenge, and ultimately growth. Because as George Mallory showed us, sometimes we need to climb our own Mount Everest to discover who we truly are. Now, my name is Michelle Hill, and I'd like to welcome you to our Zoom event, Discover Your Edge Nepal edition. So I'm really excited to not only introduce you to the key people involved in our Nepal adventure, but also to share with you all of the exciting details of what we will be doing in November. So let's start with the introductions. And because I'm in control, I'm going first. So for those of you who haven't met me yet, something you may not know is that about 10 years ago, I found myself feeling quite lost and unhappy. And I felt a little bit trapped in my job and my life. You know, on the surface, everything looked wonderful, but it just felt like I was going through the motions. And I honestly didn't know what I needed to do to get myself onto a new path in life. Because for me, the old one really wasn't doing me much good. So 7 years ago, in a moment of inspiration or desperation, I'm not quite sure which, I challenged myself to complete a trek to Everest Base Camp. Now, this was completely out of left field, as I'd never done any trekking before. And it took me a long time to figure out why I actually chose something like this to really blast me out of my comfort zone. And trust me, it literally did. So getting to Everest Base Camp was the hardest thing I had ever done, but it left me feeling physically and mentally elated. And in the process, I developed a mantra that I still use to this day: I am strong, I can do this. And what I discovered for me is that pushing myself out of my comfort zone, facing my fears, really helped me to grow and change, plus build my confidence. And now I simply want to share this amazing feeling and this mindset shift with all sorts of people so that they can get past that feeling of being stuck and not moving forward. So that's just a little bit about me. Now I'm going to hand over to my partner, Tim Wyatt, and he will introduce himself and tell us what he's most looking forward to in Nepal. And Tim.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Tim. I'm Michelle's partner. I'm the side of the expedition that is not the trekker. I'm the one that wants to go to Nepal. I want to spend time with Michelle. She will go trekking, and Dinesh is going to set me up with a tour with anyone that wants to go, and I'm just going to go there and have a look at this beautiful country. And the part I'm most excited about in it is going and giving back, going to the schools or to orphanages and things like that, because I just want to give back to the kids and just enjoy myself when I'm there looking at something that, and this is really out of my comfort zone, because I'm not a seasoned flyer, because I'm not that keen on flying, but I'm really looking forward to this trip. And going with Michelle, I can actually spend time with her. She can do what she loves to do, and I can go and do what I love to do. And anyone else to join me, by all means. As you can see, that I've done a little bit of fishing. I will tell you though, it's taken me a long time to catch a trout that big, a long time. And I'm looking forward to meeting Dinesh and his team when we get over there, and I'm sure I'm going to absolutely love it, and I would love people to come with me. So if you're not a trekker and you have a partner that is a trekker, they can go and do the trekking with Michelle, and you can come and do the sightseeing and markets and cooking classes and all of that, because I'm a chef by trade. Not a chef anymore, but I'm looking forward to doing that. So I'll hand it back over to Michelle and Dinesh.
Okay, thanks, Tim. That's awesome. And in case you didn't realize, that photo of Tim, that was taken earlier this year, just near Lake Taupo in New Zealand, his very first fly fishing journey. And look what he came home with. Now, without further ado, I am going to pass over to Dinesh so that he can introduce himself as well.
Namaste and good morning, everyone from Nepal, and welcome to the events. So I'm working tourism since before I established Nature Export Trek. Before I established Nature Trek in 2003, and before I established Nature Trek, I was guiding with some of the reputed trekking companies in Nepal. And I was born in Solukhumbu district, known as the Mount Everest region. I came in this field early age by initially working as a porter, then assistant guide, then senior guide, and then finally I became the leader for leading the whole group. And I have done many trekking in Nepal, in different regions like Annapurna region, Mount Everest region, and the Langtang region, Manaslu region, Kanchenjunga, and Makalu, many different regions, including the upper GST trail, which is the start from East Nepal to West Nepal, and it is 1,800 kilometers. So we have done this trip in 122 days.
Wow.
And I also have chance to do some trip in the Tibet, including Mount Kailash tour with pilgrimage tour, like more than 70 to 80 people in the same group. And I also have chance to couple of time in Europe, Alps in 2014 and 2016. So yeah, I've been doing this job for a long time, and I also have a long experience in this field. So it's now almost 20 years. So where I involved in this field, and in my company Nature Export Trek, we are working very hard and working and pushing, and we're giving the good service for our clients. And recently we were awarded from Trip Advisor Excellency certificate also. So
That's
we are we are looking forward to welcome you all the adventure lovers. And this picture was taken by my friend David from California last year when we have done the Lower Dolpa trekking. It is located lower west of Nepal, far west of Nepal, and this lake is very popular, and it is one of the deepest lake in the Nepal. That's I want to tell right now.
Thank you so much, Dinesh. And yes, I'd actually forgotten until you reminded me about the TripAdvisor award, which is fabulous. So let's get into talking about Discover Your Edge. Now, this is a brand new tour that's just been released by Dinesh from Nature Explore Trek and is being done in collaboration with my business, which is Health Biz Coach. So is this you? Are you a couple with diverse interests looking for a really memorable adventure that caters to both of your passions? As Tim mentioned, we have a little bit of a twist to this because Discover Your Edge is designed to not only ignite the spirit of adventure in both partners, but it allows one partner to embark on a trekking expedition while the other partner delves into the rich cultural tapestry of Nepal. So imagine this, there's 6 days of separate adventures where one partner treks around the Annapurna region, and trust me, you will see beautiful, awe-inspiring vistas, and you will be pushing your limits because there is a lot of uphill as well as downhill. And then the other partner will be indulging in a side trip which will take in Lumbini, Bandipur, and also, as Tim mentioned, we're going to be adding cooking classes so that you can actually master some authentic Nepalese cuisine, get my voice working, go to local markets and just generally hang out with the locals because, you know, from my experience of traveling to Nepal, everybody is always welcoming and very friendly. Or if you are not in a partnership, if you're a single traveler, but you want to be part of an adventure with a fun group of like-minded people, then you can choose either option. You can go trekking, or you can do the markets and cooking classes and all sorts of cultural immersions. So what are the actual origins of trekking in Nepal? So the genesis of modern trekking in Nepal can actually be traced back to the era of the mountaineering expeditions on all the beautiful majestic peaks in the Himalayas. And the global spotlight was cast on Nepal in the 1950s when Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay Sherpa triumphed over Mount Everest, the first people to reach the top of Mount Everest. However, the practice of trekking in Nepal's mountainous terrain actually predates this event because the Nepalese themselves have a long-standing tradition of navigating their country's rugged and challenging mountain landscapes all on foot. And having done Everest Base Camp trek, once you get past, it's Lachlan, isn't it, Dinesh?
Yes,
there's no road, so you have to trek, you have to walk. Yes. Anyway, the international recognition of mountaineers' achievements, as documented in many global journals since now I've lost my train of thought now, since Mount Everest was first conquered. So it's acted as a beacon to draw adventurers from all over the world to come and experience Nepal. Now, not everyone wanted to actually summit the mountains, but many people did want to experience the beauty of being in the countryside. So how will our trip work? Well, day one is when everyone will arrive in Kathmandu, preferably in time for a welcome chat at dinner. And I just will let you know that we will be staying at the Hotel Schenker, which up until the mid-1960s was actually a palace. So what we've done is we've tried to find some really authentic, different hotels for people to stay at to make the whole experience. You know, I didn't want to get to Kathmandu and then we get to a hotel and it just looks like every other hotel that you could be staying anywhere in the world. We really wanted you to from the moment you get there, feel like you really truly are in a different culture. Now, the 2 days that we will be spending in Nepal will be divided up between sightseeing and, as Tim mentioned, a give back day where we will be visiting a school to spend some time with the kids, play games and have some fun. And I know that Tim is planning on bringing soccer balls and pumps, which he wants to pump up and kick around with the kids. Now, from Kathmandu, we will head to Chitwan for 2 nights, where we will discover the natural wonders of the Chitwan National Park, which is a World Heritage Site. So think jungle safari, elephants, and wildlife. And the next stop is Pokhara, and this is where the magic that Tim was talking about before happens. After we all spend a night in Pokhara, the trekkers, including me, and under the expert guidance of Dinesh, we will head off to the trails around the Annapurna region, and this will include the famous Gorapani and Poon Hill. Now, that is actually me at Poon Hill, and you go there early in the morning for the breathtaking sunrise views of the Himalayas. So we'll actually be on the trail for around about 6 days. Now, while we're doing that, in the meantime, the non-trekking group, including Tim, but with their very own guide, they will be heading off to Lumbini, which is Buddha's birthplace. And that's what you can see in that beautiful picture there. And Bandipur, a town known for its ancient architecture. Now, this tour will actually get back to Pokhara with about 2.5 days to spare before the trekkers turn up again. So during that time, as we mentioned, there'll be cooking classes, market tours, and much more. Now, when we all get back together in Pokhara, there will be obviously lots to catch up on, but we'll also wanted to build in a little bit of like that relaxation, reflection time. So we will be spending a day at a beautiful yoga and meditation retreat so that you can actually, you know, just relax. And, you know, after the trekking, you might need a massage or something like that. And just allow like the whole experience to just settle in and rejuvenate your spirit. And then from Pokhara, we will fly back to Kathmandu, and that's a view of Kathmandu there. And we'll have the last full day there. There's nothing specifically planned, but there will be time for shopping. And if anybody wants to do any specific tours or something that they didn't see when we were there the first time, and we will have a farewell dinner as well. And then the last day, which is day 16, is when everyone flies out. So I'm sure as you've been listening to this, there have been some questions that have come up for you. So I'll just quickly run through some of the most common ones that we get asked is, what if I have dietary restrictions or food allergies? Now, we can make sure that we address this and that you are fully looked after as long as you let us know. What if I encounter difficulties during the trek? Are there experienced guides and support systems in place? So we will be trekking with Dinesh, and there will be one porter for every 2 people to carry the bags. And yes, we will be in the hands of very, very experienced guide and a full support system. And I think we've already answered this one. What if I'm not physically fit enough for the trek? Are there alternative options or activities? Absolutely. That will be the side tour that goes with Tim. What about if I'm traveling alone? Will there be opportunities to connect with other like-minded individuals? Absolutely, yes. Tim and I will both be on the tour, and we are looking for like-minded individuals who want to come to Nepal and have some adventure, but most of all, have some fun. And what about if I want some personal time, or I prefer not to participate in certain activities? Is there flexibility? Absolutely. You know, we've got free time built into the itinerary to allow for individual preferences, and we can be flexible. And you know, we are all adults, and it's not obligatory. There's no obligation that you have to do everything that's on the trip if you don't want to. But my advice would be jump into everything that's offered, because that is going to make it a magical experience. Now, what about some of these other questions? Now, I'm going to get Dinesh to answer these because I feel like this is drawing on his area of expertise and experience. So the first one is, what if there are unexpected changes in the itinerary or the weather conditions? So Dinesh, how do you normally deal with bad weather or unforeseen circumstances? What happens then?
Yeah, normally we're planning our trip in November. So November is always a very good weather, supposed to be. So it is most of the day it is sunshine and crystal clear weather. So we have been experienced long time like this weather in October and November. If in case the weather is changed and unexpected things, then we will have a very experienced high senior Sherpas, including me. We'll be there, and we will suggesting the right way. And if we need to think any alternative, we will think, and we will suggest you there. So you don't have to be worried there. So we will be there.
Okay. And what about if people have concerns about altitude sickness?
And normally our trek is not that high altitude. We will be not reaching in the high altitude. High altitudes start after 2,500 meter after. So if in case someone got sickness in Gorepani and along the trekking, so the first medicine of high altitude is descent. So that means we will descend a couple of 100 meters down from where we are. So normally it will be fine. If in case the case is good, more worse, and not getting better, then we will do the evacuate to the nearest hospital or like nearest place for their safety.
Okay, that sounds excellent. And what if somebody actually wants to do more than what we've got planned, either before or after the actual trip?
Yes, it is possible, and we are very flexible. So if someone want to extend their trip a few more days or stay in some nice spot during the trek, it is possible. So we will add in there an additional cost.
Yeah. And will there be knowledgeable guides available to provide insights about the culture and the customs?
Yes, including myself, we will be there. We'll be there on the trekking, even in non-trekking too. So we will explain everything about the culture, region, and localities from the region where we are. So we'll be there, and we will explain. So whenever you are interested about culture or nature or landscape of Nepal, so we will explain, and what do we know? Yeah. We will share our experience.
Sounds fantastic. And I think we kind of covered this a little bit about if they wanted more, but what if somebody's having a little bit of trouble with their travel arrangements, or they've got lots of questions before the trip? How will we go about dealing with that?
Yeah, we will, like the beginning of our grouping, we will tell for our members everything is clear, and then we will be there, all our experienced team supporting supporters, and myself will be there. Every day we'll be together. If anyone have some different questions, anything, so we will solve and we will make a comfortable atmosphere and talk about that.
Excellent. And what I'd also just drop in here as well is that around about 4 weeks before we head off, we will also run a Zoom event with everybody who's coming on the trip. So this will give a chance for people to just get to know who they're going to be traveling with, but also if they have any questions or concerns, we can address them on the spot. Now, there's a big long list of things that is included, and that is on the website, and I will give you that link in a moment. But I just thought it's quicker to actually just outline what is not included in the cost of the trip. And that'll be your international airfare, travel insurance, which we highly recommend, trekking equipment, with the exception you will be provided with a duffel bag and possibly a down jacket. Is that right, Dinesh, that people can borrow?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But everything else, obviously, you will need your own personal equipment. Most of the time, lunch and dinner in Pokhara and Kathmandu is not included. And partly this is because we want you to also have the opportunity to choose for yourself and try some really different things. And bar drinks, mini bar, any extras that are not included in the itinerary. And then at the end, it's general practice to provide a tip for your guide and your porters. So spaces for this expedition are limited, and we would encourage you to reserve your spot today if you are interested at all. So whether you're an empty nester seeking a shared holiday where one partner can trek and the other can enjoy an exciting adventure, or an individual yearning for purpose and a fresh start in life, Discover Your Edge in Nepal is designed for you. Now, what I was going to do here, this is a quote that I heard recently. Now is the youngest you will ever be, so now is the best time ever to go on an adventure like this. Now, that I actually can't remember who it was, so I will look that up and pop that in for next time we do this. So what are the numbers? What are the important things that you'll all be wanting to know? So the tour dates are day 1 is Tuesday, the 14th of November, and day 16 is Wednesday, the 29th of November. The investment to join us, if you are in a twin share situation for trekking and the non-trekking tour, it's $2,145 US. And if you want a single occupancy for either the trekking or the non-trekking tour, it's $2,345. You can reserve your spot right now today with a $500 deposit. Now I've put in the link here for the website. So if you just follow this link, go to the website and click on the button that says reserve your spot now, and then just follow the prompts. Or if you want to quickly scan a QR code, that's the QR code that will take you directly to the website. Now that's pretty much everything that I have to talk about today. Looks like we're not going to have any questions. So what I'd like to do is say thank you, Dinesh, for spending the time to let us know what this tour is all about and how well supported we're going to be with this collaboration. And thank you, Tim, for being my long-suffering partner and always supporting me in the crazy ideas that I come up with. And thank you, everybody. If you're watching this on the replay and you've missed any of the codes or the links, please reach out directly to me either on Facebook or LinkedIn and we will be able to have a chat and take you to the next step of booking your spot. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Dinesh. Talk to you soon.
Thanks to talk to you, Tim. Have a good
Yeah.
day.
And I'll talk to you in just a minute.